I am not super familiar with hand signals when it comes to those hard of hearing, but this Arkansas School of the Deaf license plate, the hand looks like the rock on symbol, which obviously confirms the fact that it means a little bit more than, wow, Ozzy's really doing a great job tonight. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. In just about 2 weeks from this moment, I will be returning this rental car and then hopping in Large Marge and hitting the open road. And I woke up this morning and realized I have really been neglecting the theme parks. So today, spoiler alert, is Disney Day. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. As you may or may not know, I do a wide variety of content. Some people like theme park stuff, some people don't like it. This is your chance either to tune in or to jump on board. Wait, I've screwed that up. Tune in or tune out. Man, I messed that up. And in this episode, I want to cover a topic that a lot of people have asked. What do I like about Magic Kingdom that they don't have at Disneyland? East Coast versus West. Not really, but kinda. Oh wow, this is brand new. Security is now at TTC, Transportation Ticket Center, instead of the front gate of Magic Kingdom. It is incredibly busy today. They have queue lines set up just to get on the monorail. That's okay though, because I prefer the ferry boats. And it looks like a lot of other people do also. Okay, option number 3. I'm gonna take the resort monorail over to Magic Kingdom. Seems to be a lot less people in that line. Look at how many people are in line for the normal monorail. Personally, I would have rather taken the ferry boat, but as you can see, a lot more people waiting for that than there are for this. Arriving at Magic Kingdom now, and it looks considerably different now that security is not out front here, because it was back at Transportation Ticket Center. You can just walk right up, go in the park. Thank you. Have a good time. I do like the fact that they have a designated pass holder entrance and magic bands for normal guests. I love these things, just saying. Disneyland doesn't have either of those things, at least last time I was there. That being said, however, it did take me 1 hour and 24 minutes from the time I passed the entryway on the property sign until I walked into Magic Kingdom and standing on the train station. An hour and 24 minutes. So you have to throw that into perspective as well. And check this out there. They're doing something right down here in the front hub. This might be the first time I have never seen a flagpole at the entrance to Main Street at any Disney park. I need fuel. Now don't quote me on this, but I think since the last time I was in California, Anaheim has also adopted these. I can hear the chapel bell chime, ding dong ding. At the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, rose without a sweetheart to my name. Looks like she's sharing a moment.
He's not as strong as he looks.
I didn't mean to disturb you sharing a moment.
Oh, well, yes, he doesn't say much today. He's on guard, but I just felt compelled to sing to him. I'm Victoria Drummond, the music teacher of Main Street, USA. And this is Howard. Howard, say something. He's a little shy. He's a very Howard turned, his neck hurts. He hasn't gone to the chiropractor yet, that's why. And of course, he's on guard at all times. Love the medallion I bought him for Christmas. 24 karat fake gold. Can't get any better than that.
He's watch out there, he's got a knife.
Oh my goodness.
Be careful.
Well, he's taking me out for lunch and he knows I like steak.
Awesome. See you later. And Justin Scar's going to be very disappointed when he realizes that cigar store Indian's name is Howard. Of course, both coasts have a partner statue. But the castle here is just a tiny bit bigger. In fact, the entire area in front of said castle is much larger, giving you a lot more elbow room. At the same time, it's not quite as cozy. I'm asked very often what the differences are, and for me, Walt Disney World feels like a tourist destination. Disneyland feels like home. Everything's bigger here, including the crowds, which means they cater to the masses. Where in Anaheim, they cater to the locals. Now, this isn't always the case, but it is a good rule of thumb for me when I try to explain it. I think it kind of makes sense, right? Whoa, yeah. They don't have that in California. Nor do they have an epic Beauty and the Beast restaurant. Not this epic, anyway. However, weather conditions for a guy that dislikes heat are horrible. I feel like jumping inside of there and swimming around with Gaston. Thankfully, I have gotten myself an ice-cold glass of goodness. A LeFou's Brew. They have something similar to this at California Adventure, but it's not called LeFou's Brew. It's called something else, which means this is the only place you can get this. A drink that the man himself can be proud of. I literally get one of these every time I'm here. There's no alcohol in this, even though it's called brew, and it's similar to the consistency of butterbeer at Universal, even though I like this a little bit more. So good. Of course, both parks have Peter Pan's Flight and Small World, and while the exterior to this seems a little bit lackluster compared to its counterpart, you do have the ability to eat overlooking the ride itself and be waved at. You can get waved at from those on the boats and wave back. It's pretty cool. And I also love the fact that both Haunted Mansions look completely different from the outside. And the graveyard here has a little headstone in homage to Mr. Toad, which is a sad trombone moment if you ask me, because there is no Mr. Toad's Wild Ride here. Whomp, 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 whomp. He was removed many years ago, but he's still holding strong in SoCal. Still holding strong. You can really get a perspective on the size difference by looking at Frontierland here. Definitely not this much room on the opposite side of the country. They do both have shooting arcades, and they both have ferry boats. And even though the Liberty Bell size-wise looks the same, in my opinion, there is less room on board because I think the stairs are a little wider to accommodate the crowds. Now, I've never confirmed this fact by taking a tape measure and wandering around the deck, but I think it might be true. And at the time of the recording of this vlog, this is the only one of the two that's actually moving through the water currently. Oh yes, that's right. Country bear time. I'm really glad this exists, at least in one place. Notice the logs here are slightly different. You can sit side by side instead of directly in front of each other, single file. Almost like the ride vehicles are on Space Mountain at Disneyland. But the ride vehicles on Space Mountain here are a little different. They're the single file, almost like the Matterhorn bobsleds. So it's different depending on which coast you're on. Speaking of the Matterhorn, nope, they don't have it here. They do, however, have their version of Big Thunder Mountain. No pyrotechnics in the mining cave here, however.
Face the mob in front of us. Swords held high. There we go. Hey, snarl at them. Arr! Snarl at them. Arr!
It appears that the misting tikis are a very popular spot today. So it is toasty out here. Very, very humid, even for the time of year it is. It's very humid, and everyone's sweating, including me. Now, normally I would be in line for a Dole Whip at Aloha Isle Refreshments, but there's something just around the corner that you can't get in Anaheim. For many years, I would have argued the fact that the Dole Whip is my favorite and the most delicious treat on Disney property. But the more I stopped off at the Sunshine Tree Terrace, my opinion started to waver. In all honesty, I don't know if it really is a viable argument because they are two separate things, but man, oh man, this thing is amazing. You have to eat it fast though, because this Florida heat, it wants to melt. It wants to melt away before I can, oh, that is so good. You want some of this? There's also a tree house here. This one, however, is not called Tarzan. They're keeping it old school, Swiss Family Robinson style. And this queue line, I've never seen anyone in this queue line. They always just walk over the bridge. But this little hidden queue, it's always empty. Keeping it old school. I like that. And oh yeah, I nearly forgot. They still call it Tom Sawyer Island here. Thumbs up for that. And they also have an entire Hall of Presidents versus just Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. And it's currently being prepared to welcome our new president. Heading over to Tomorrowland now because two of my favorite attractions here at Magic Kingdom are located in there. If you're a big fan of Disney, an annual pass holder, or even someone who comes pretty often, you realize that you don't call things rides, you call them attractions, and you don't call the employees here by that name, you call them cast members. And I'm about to go on Carousel of Progress. They don't have this at Disneyland. One funny thing they will tell you over there is, there's only one ride at Disneyland, and you say, well, what is it? And they say, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Everything else is an attraction. And the next time they tell you that, you can combat with, well, what about Big Thunder Mountain? It's the wildest ride in the wilderness. Try it sometimes. It always throws them off.
You know, next year I'd like to go as Benedict Arnold.
Wait until you see what I've got planned for the fireworks show tonight.
Rover, don't interrupt while Sarah's interrupting.
And guess John, what's wrong with the oven?
What?
I really do love that. Walt's vision from the 1964 New York City World's Fair. But if you stare at the characters long enough, I was sitting up front, if you look deep into their eyes, it almost looks like they're staring into your soul. Kinda like this guy, the People Mover. I definitely put this in the category of things I ride every single time I'm on property. And it is still completely 100% operational here. Oh, heck yeah.
Remain seated throughout your journey, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs.
It's really hard for me to express how much I love the People Mover. It's the most relaxing experience at any theme park. It's the best. Overlooking the crowds, overlooking the masses. It's not called Autopia here, it's called Tomorrowland Speedway, but it's basically the same premise. I don't know if it's the same vehicles, but it's basically the same premise.
Paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom.
She's gone full Disney. Just cruising along, kicking my feet up. And one of the best views anywhere in the park. Cinderella's Castle, off on the horizon. Of course I had to stop in and say hello to the one and only Sunny Eclipse. He can only be found here.
Speaking of planets,
Yeah?
Donald Duck and Goofy were in here a few minutes ago.
No.
For Pluto.
Okay.
Man, are they a few million miles off or what?
Never gets old. There he goes. This crazy guy. What is he doing? Oh. He's picking up trash. Tigger is promoting non-littering. Good for you, Tigger. Good for you. You'll notice there's a lot more canopies out here. The reason for that is because that crazy... Whoa! Oh, that's just the ride stopping. That startled me. The Florida sun is very potent, as well as the incessant rain that comes down. You're not going to stop a ride every time it rains, so that's where the roofs come into play. Now pouring rain outside. Everyone has corralled themselves inside this gift shop because it is coming down pretty heavily outside there. You see there's only a couple people wandering around the sidewalks. Everybody's undercover. As soon as I buy an umbrella, it stops raining. It's funny how that works. It's good to have though. For next time. Well, I spoke too soon. Started raining again. I'm glad I did purchase this little accessory. Oh yeah.
Nice and dry under here.
And with the imminent downpour probably lasting the rest of the day, I think it's a good time to leave. I did quite a bit though. I did quite a few things that you cannot do at Disneyland, you can only do at Walt Disney World. And that was my whole goal.
There are a multitude of things I like about this park. And there are a heck of a, whoa, hear that thunder? And there are a heck of a lot of things I love. Man, that thunder rolls and the lightning strikes underneath this castle. Yeah, I'm holding this umbrella. I don't know why I threw a Garth Brooks reference in. I would love to know what your guys' opinion is on this. Do you prefer Disneyland or do you prefer Magic Kingdom? Magic Kingdom's basically just a larger version with a couple different nuances. The rides are a little bit different, the ones that they have similar to out in Anaheim, with their own little flavor. But there are a lot of things here you can't do out on the other coast, and vice versa. There are a lot of things, especially in Fantasyland, that you can't do here in Florida. So it's a toughie. You kind of have to flip a coin. For me, it basically boils down, whoa, it came really close. It boils down basically to what you feel more comfortable in. And for me, honestly, I lean a little bit towards Disneyland and Anaheim. Even though I grew up coming here to Walt Disney World, my family brought me here on vacation. I lived out in California for a year and a half. So I have to give that the number one spot, but only by a very minute hair. Only a hair's difference. What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear it. This is Josephine. She watches my vlogs every single day. Today's her birthday. She's 1 year old. For 13 weeks, she has sat in front of a TV watching each one of my videos. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Vlog over.